So, how do you create a halal financial lifestyle for an individual? Because when I'm sitting here listening to you guys right now, I'm getting nervous because,
I got things to do.
yeah,
I gotta make some changes here.
yeah, I got credit cards and some of them have interest on them and stuff like that. So,
Subhanallah.
how do you, what do you do to
Practically taking the steps.
yeah.
So with credit cards, it's tricky. Dr. Muhammad can tell you more. I mean, technically, when you sign any contract, you know that you click and agree that, what are you signing to? That if you don't make the payment in full, what are they going to charge you? Interest. And you're saying, I agree. So actually, having a checking account is more, or dealing with banks in general, this is a dispensation given by the ulama, a rukhsa, because we live in non-Muslim lands. Would you like to expand on that a bit?
Yeah. Why do we have a checking account? Why do we have a credit card?
I don't know, man. I'm like, yo, I can just keep this money.
I don't know.
No, but let's think about it practically, because there are reasons around it, right? Like,
Yeah.
can you get a cell phone without a credit score?
Oh, yeah, it's the credit score system we have here. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can you rent a house, without submitting your credit report to the
No.
landlord? Because they want to know if you have the ability to make your payments. So, now I need a credit report. Well, how do I build a credit report? I have to have a credit card, because that, like, checking accounts doesn't build my credit report. Savings accounts doesn't build my credit report, but a credit card does. Now we have prepaid cards that have the ability to build credit. So maybe that's your switch. I don't want to sign a contract that says, and I've heard this, how many times have I heard this argument? It's like, but I always make my payment on time. I never have ever paid a cent in interest. But you signed a contract that said that if you miss, you will pay. What if you're in the hospital?
You're bound to miss a payment.
What if you're in the hospital and you don't have the ability, right, to make,
Yeah.
I have to go into my banking account and make that payment.
That's why one hack is to always, like, before your statement to balance due date, to like create just a recurring thing,
yeah.
even if it's like just the minimum, and then you can go in and make a second payment before the deadline and complete it once you see the balance. If you don't want to, because you don't know what the total is, but like some payment, because if you don't make it on time, there's also that late fee.
Of course.
Is that halal?
No.
No.
They're profiting off of a situation, which they shouldn't.
So
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, you can even pay over the minimum, and they still charge you interest.
Well, yeah, because the minimum they're saying, it won't affect your credit score. That's all it is. Pay the minimum, the $10. We won't touch your credit score. We won't report that you missed a payment. That's all it does. But the interest starts ticking, right? The clock started.
So do you think that when the credit card situation, when someone has credit card payments and they're only paying the minimum or even above the minimum, but they're still paying interest on their credit card payments?
No, I'll tell you what I did, and maybe you could follow. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So when I was working at Menzil, at one point we had a product called Coho.
Yeah, it was a partnership.
But right now you're on another level, right? You're working on your own.
We're working on our own fully Sharia compliant savings and checkings account.
And one thing I didn't
Nice.
like about using my debit card is usually most of us with our credit cards, we're collecting points and
Yeah,
rewards. And then if you start, I don't want to use credit cards, don't want to risk it, so I'll just use a debit card. Maybe you can call it a little less haram, whatever you want to. But using your debit card, but you're not getting points. And all of a sudden we introduced this Coho thing. There was some partnership, basically a prepaid Visa or MasterCard.
You load it up.
You load it up and you can only use whatever's in there. Okay? But they did it in such a way where you're able to build your credit and everything. You can even have your direct deposit, salary, whatever, transferred to go directly into your Coho account instead of your, bank account.
So it's like a
regular bank
debit
account.
card, but with points.
Yeah.
And
But
credit.
but it has a Visa or MasterCard logo, so you're able to use it anywhere. Online, offline, do what you got to do. Because some of these prepaid cards won't work online, the regular ones, right?
Okay.
The ones we were used to in the past. So anyways, I got that, but I also need a regular credit card. I mean, there's certain times where you just need it. But I don't need 20 credit cards, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, I have my American Express, right? Which is paid every month at the end of the month, whatever the payment is. And if I know that I'm, approaching the end of the month, alhamdulillah, Allah's been very generous with me. But whatever I have to pay off at the end of the month, I pay it off in full, period. right? And then there's the, the Koho card for the, typical transactions, or if I'm traveling or whatever it is. So I keep it to like, pretty much 2 cards, right? And then from there, you work your way up in terms of I don't own a home personally, because I never was at a point where I could afford paying the down payment. That might be different soon, inshallah ta'ala, but at the time I couldn't afford it. So I'm like...
And is that because you pay your credit cards in full?
Whatever the reason is, I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, huwa ar-razzaq. I never... For some reason, for me, man, I was never a saver. Like most of my life, like whatever comes in, I was always very like giving or sadaqat. I never thought of these things. I don't know. It's just tabi'ati. My wife, blames me all this. He says you need to timsik idak shwaya, hold off, not spend as much. But so you start shway. I don't have a haram home. I have halal investments. We can talk about that down the line. And I have like basically what I need to function and operate in a non-Muslim land. That's it. That's the basics.
So yesterday when we were talking, you guys spoke about the priority of spending. And I believe you guys were saying that there is actually an Islamic prioritization of spending. So what is the priority of spending?
The first is لِإِعْلَاءِ كَلِمَةِ اللَّهِ, to spread the deen of Allah. And look, we're all guilty. We're not saying, by the way, that we're doing this.
Nah,
right?
bro.
We're all, we're human too. We're working on ourselves too, right? So number 1, لِإِعْلَاءِ كَلِمَةِ اللَّهِ, to spread the deen of Allah. Most of us like, really? Like, yeah, that's why Allah really sent you. كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. You were brought out of your mother's womb. To do what? تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. You enjoin good, forbid evil, and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
The first was spending in the...
Okay, number 1. Number 2 is what? What do you think?
Your family. Yourself.
Okay, do you have ibadat that you need to fulfill?
Yeah.
Zakah, right?
Oh, okay.
Hajj, right?
Yeah.
When you get the opportunity, all these things. So the commands of Allah, fulfilling what Allah asked from you. Number 3, your family's needs. Beginning inside, working your way out. في مثل عربي, we have a saying, اللي بيحتاج البيت بيحرم على المسجد. So just a saying, like whatever is the house needs, if you spend that money in the masjid, it's haram. Like your house is a priority. Al-aqrabuna awla bil-ma'ruf. Those close to you have a precedence for you to be good to them.
Even above the orphan and the needy.
Absolutely.
Your family.
Every penny you spend on your spouse is a sadaqah that you get rewarded for. So remember that. Make the intention when you're spending that you're caring for your wife, taking care of your ra'i, you're responsible. Number 3, the poor and the needy. Number 4,
Number 4, the poor and the needy.
Poor and needy. Number 5, your needs.
So the last.
Our last. And notice I didn't say desires.
Yeah.
Because the problem is when you start with your desires, nothing is left for the commands of Allah. You know what I mean? Like you said, I want to buy this. Oh my God, the newest iPhone. Look, I'm guilty, man. I have the 17 Pro. I already got, maybe because it's in my line of work. But we're all like, I want it. I want it. The latest thing. If you can't afford it, start like, no. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. No, I can get it on credit. No, you can't. And you don't need it until you can afford it. That requires discipline of the nafs.
Yeah.
A lot. Especially because everything is telling you to be a consumer. Because they want you self-consumed. So that you're distracted from the dhikr of Allah. The obedience of Allah. And you can't even keep up because you've bought so many, you fulfilled your desires, you've got all these payments, and now, Habibti, you gotta work too. So now your wife is working, so now who's taking care of the children, the school? Or maybe the maid, or I don't know, but you're not the one raising them. And all of a sudden the new generation kharban is broken because you're too busy fulfilling your desires and you're out of the house and you're bearing, your child doesn't want toys from you, your child wants your time. Your child doesn't want you to buy him a toy, he wants you to play with him. But you don't have any time because you haven't understood your priorities. So, في إشي في الدين اسمه فقه الأولويات. There's something in religion called the fiqh, the jurisprudence of priorities. And it's a must. I just discovered that book, by the way, when I was with Sheikh Ahmed Salim in Atlanta. There was a book. He's like, it's a gem. He's like, I
wanna
found
read
it,
that book.
tradition.
Yeah.
It's rights.
Fiqh al-awliya.
Basic, and the rights. So these are all your spouse's rights.
Oh, wow.
I think 70 something.
So one thing that I think you mentioned to me yesterday that I thought was interesting is creating a circular Islamic finance system.
Circular. I think I would have said circular is Islamic financial economy. Circular Islamic financial economy.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
So let's think about our mindset when it comes to our money, right? We earn money, and then we have to do something with it. We have to spend it, right? That we have needs, and inshallah, we have less desires or zero desires, right? We don't want to direct our money towards things that build the nafs. We want to be able to tame it. And the question then becomes is where does that money go? Does it go to our community first, or does it go outside of that community? And there are a multitude of studies that have shown that there are other communities that have a really strong focus around me and you are Muslims. I'm going to give you the money first, and I would expect you to give it to another Muslim business owner and another Muslim business owner and another one. To the point that there are communities where $1 never leaves, or I can give you a specific example, is it circulates 27 times. If we think about the Jewish community, and when $1 is created, how many times does it circulate amongst them? And this is not a bad thing.
I think the rule is at least 6, right?
The rule is at least 6 to have a strong community.
But it's actually 27?
For them, it's 27.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'll give you another example. I saw a podcast with a rabbi, and I don't know if the host was Jewish. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But he said something that really, really resonated with me. He said, let's say you decide to open up a restaurant. Okay? You opened up a restaurant, and then you had your pre-opening with family and friends. Sam and I get invited. Everybody around the table here gets invited. Everybody shows up. And we're taste testing your food, right? That's the whole concept. And we want to give you feedback. And let's say it's bad. And we tell you it's bad. Our mindset as a Muslim community is like, oh, he failed. I'm not coming back. I'm not even recommending it. Oh, no. The Jewish community will say, you know what? We can help you make it better.
MashaAllah. Wow.
Right? We're going to support you, whether maybe we'll bring in better chefs for you. Maybe we're going to provide you better feedback. Maybe there's a better menu, pricing, all of these things. And we're going to lift you up so that you have a quality product that not only that we will support, but everyone else will. For us, it's like you have one chance only, and we're going to keep you down or pull you down if you don't make it perfect from day one. It's a completely different mindset of uplifting a community or keeping a community down.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So touching on what Dr. Mohammad said about we have a scarcity mindset and not an abundance mindset. How do we fix that? Is this a spiritual problem?
Oh, 100% it's a spiritual problem. So how can I put it? So scarcity comes from believing that we are the providers. But abundance comes when we realize that Allah is the provider. So we go from sort of like, it's like I have to get things done, to Allah will get it done through me. So at that point, what happens? Your world begins to expand instead of shrink. Because you put your trust in who? In Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is that?
Go ahead.
I'll extend on that. The scarcity mindset is a mindset of fear.
Sorry.
We are afraid, right, that we might go poor. We are afraid that we won't have shelter. We are afraid that we might not have food. We are afraid that we can't be the providers, right, and take on that responsibility. And if you have tawakkul in Allah, there should be no fear. Right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the provider. Why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let you go hungry? Why would He not give you shelter? Why would He not provide for you these bare necessities, these needs? And so I think if there's a shift of mindset with respect to, okay, I can't control everything. I am going to, right, have a work ethic. I'm going to do, right. I'm going to perform the best, like to the best of my ability, my duties as a Muslim. With tawakkul, what do you have to fear?
Yeah.
Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam,
Alayhi
just a
salatu
quick
wassalam.
story. He used to speak to, he had the mantiq of tayr, so he could speak to insects and birds. So there was this ant, and he noticed that the ant was eating wheat. So he asks the ant, he says, how many grains of wheat do you go through every year? So the ant goes, ant is super tiny, he goes 2. So Sulaiman goes, I got you, here's 2. And inshallah I'll be back next year and I'll give you another 2. Sulaiman alayhi salam, trying to play God. Astaghfirullah. So the ant goes, okay, deal. Sulaiman alayhi salam goes, disappears for a year, and a year from then comes back with 2 grains. Comes, and to his surprise, the ant has only consumed 1 grain. So he asks her, he says, I thought you said you consume 2 a year. So the ant says, when I was depending on Allah, yes, I would consume 2. But when now my dependence is on you, I was worried that you would forget me. So I ate 1.
Yeah, subhanallah.
Look at now. And that's the tawakkul of an ant.
Yeah.
What's our tawakkul like?
Yeah. The verse that's been playing in my mind a lot lately is إن الشيطان يوعدكم الفقر
Allah.
والله يوعدكم
That's
مغفرة ورحمة.
Ahsant. That was mashallah.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. Mashallah.
Did I know it in Arabic or did I say it?
No, the fact that it's a very powerful point, of course.
Yeah. And
Actually, that's what Sheikh Dr. Muhammad was saying, right?
yeah.
What did he say? He said, it's based on fear.
Yeah.
And recite the ayah.
Yeah, that the devil promises you poverty and makes you afraid. Because actually, one of the things that Dr. Ali Hussein said that I thought was beautiful is that the devil's entire relationship with his own minions and with Allah is based off fear. The only relationship the devil has with Allah is fear. He has no love for Allah. And so he wants you to be afraid. He wants you to be anxious. He wants you to be afraid of poverty. And Allah actually promised you maghfiratan wa rahmah, which is interesting that maghfirah is brought up here because when Nuh tells his people to استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا, like make istighfar to your Lord, verily he is all forgiving, he will send upon you abundance of rain, ويمددكم بأموال وأولاد, and he will give you from money and children.
بأموال وبنين, yes.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, man, that's yeah.
So I think that was interesting. But that's all the questions that I have for you guys, brother Ousama, Dr. Muhammad. Any final thoughts before we head off?
Maybe not just a final thought, but I want to ask you a question because, throughout this episode, there was some nervousness, some maybe some shock as a response to our thoughts. How do you feel now?
I feel like I got to make some payments.
I love you, man. Allah, I love you for the sake of Allah.
But it's an actionable item.
Allah,
it's like, what is bringing me, right?
Yeah.
The most fear, or what is bringing me the most fear of restriction of barakah?
Allahu Akbar.
Make the payment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Actionable.
Unlock, right? It's an unlock. That's the way.
Habibi, my last thought. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. Very simple. Whoever has taqwa, God consciousness, does the do's, avoids the don'ts, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do what? يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. He will show him for every difficulty he's in, he'll show him a way out. وَيَرْزُقْهُ. He will provide from him from whence he doesn't expect. So this is it. Just your taqwa, your iman, get it straight, get it right. Put Allah first, and Allah will put you first.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, if we can take and have an active effort from an awareness perspective of what our role in this dunya is as Muslims, not just in terms of how we earn, but how we spend intentionally, we can create that circular Islamic financial economy. We can create halal banks outside of the conventional banking system. We can create credit cards, all of these products and services that are of such a, like finance plays such a huge role in our lives today, more than they did, right? Hundreds of years ago. How can we ignore? And we have the playbook. The playbook's been around for over 1,400 years. Why are we not implementing the playbook?
Dr. Mohammad Sawwaf.
Habibi, anta.
Brother Ousama Alshurafa, thank you guys so much for joining the Ansari podcast. It was honestly a pleasure to have both of you on.
The pleasure's ours, wallahi. Thank you for the invitation. It's
thank you
very
for the
much
last
appreciated.
and for the last minute.
Absolutely, adjustment. Yes,
Thank you for
barakallahu
your
feek.
patience.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.